Jayom Vishnupad Pranamahamsa Parivrajacharya Stotrasatasi Shimad. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jayom Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Stotrasatasi Shimad. His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Ki. Anantakoti Vaishnav Vrinda Ki. ISKCON Founder Acharya's Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki. Prem Sekaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sati Gaur Bhaktavrinda Ki. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Go Gopinath. Shamakun Radhakun Giri Govardhana Ki. Sri Vrindavan Dham Ki. Navadweep Mayapur Dham Ki. Jamunimai Ki. Bhakti Devi Ki. Srimati Tulsi Maharani Ki. Brihat Mridanga Transcendental Book Distribution Ki. Harinam Sankirtana Ki. New Dwarka Dhamma Ki. Shri Shri Gauranitai Ki. Jagannath Baladev Subhadradeva Ki. Their most beautiful lordship Shri Shri Rukmini Dwarkadisha Ki. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki. Nitai Gaura Premanande. All glorious to the assembled devotees. All glorious to the assembled devotees. All glorious to the assembled devotees. All glorious to the lotus feet of Sri Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 1, entitled The Advent of Lord Krishna, Introduction. This is text number 36. Tam jagupsita karmanam nrisram sam nirapatrapam Vasudeva Mahabhaga Uvacha Parisatvayan Tam Jagupsita Karmanam Nrisam Sam Nirapatrapam Vasudeva Mahabhaga Uvacha Parishantvayan Tam Jagupsita Karmanam Risam Sam Nirapatrapam Vasudeva Mahabhaga Uvacha Parisatvayan. Someone else, please. Tam Jagupsita Karmanam Nishram Nirapatrapam. Ladies? Yeah, that's okay. You can. Unto him, Kamsa, Jugupsita Karmanam, who was ready to commit such an offensive act. Nirsam, very cruel. Niraptrapam, shameless. Vasudeva, Vasudev. Mahabhaga, the greatly fortunate father of Vasudev. Uvacha, said. Parisantvayan, pacifying. Translation, wanting to pacify Kamsa, who was so cruel and envious that he was shamelessly ready to kill his sister. The great soul Vasudev, who was to be the father of Krishna, spoke to him in the following words. Purport. Vasudev, who was to be the father of Krishna, is described here as Mahabhaga, a very upright and sober personality, because although Kamsa was ready to kill Vasudev's wife, Vasudev remained sober and unagitated. In a peaceful attitude, Vasudev began to address Kamsa by putting forward reasonable arguments. Vasudev was a great personality because he knew how to pacify a cruel person and how to forgive even the bitterest enemy. The bitterest enemy. One who is fortunate is never caught, even by tigers or snakes. Waiting to pacify Kamsa, who was so cruel and envious that he was shamelessly ready to kill his sister, the great soul Vasudev, who was to be the father of Krishna, spoke to him in the following words. Om Gyanatamadandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Umilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So here's an example of a personality, Kamsa, who was so cruel and envious, he was ready to kill his own sister. So this is an example of the age that we live in, where there's so much cruelness and so much enviousness. And that's a product of Kali Yuga. We're all born into this age with these, I wouldn't say qualities, but with these conditionings, cruelness, enviousness, and we see how in our everyday lives, we see it, how people are cruel to each other. People are envious of each other. People put each other down. People hurt each other. They want to cause pain to others. So we must be really careful that within our own society of devotees, that we don't do that we don't succumb to the lower modes of nature passion, and ignorance. We brought these conditionings with us into Krishna consciousness. And we've all had a taste now for chanting and dancing and feasting. We see that these conditionings are subsiding. But every so often, isn't it? It may come up. We may be envious of someone. We may even want to speak ill of someone, to put someone down. We have to be really, really careful of this. And then the important thing here is that we remain sober. Because those days are going to come. We're going to feel angry. We're going to feel agitated. We're going to be irritated with someone, something that someone does. And it's important that we hold on tightly to what Srila Prabhupada has said. In Bhagavad Gita, there's wonderful instructions on how to overcome these lower modes of nature, these conditionings. We see in this painting here in front of me against the wall that Krishna and Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Take this as a perfect example. Anything that we're experiencing in life, any challenges, and in this case we're speaking about, anger or enviousness, we can make reference to what Krishna said on the battlefield of Kurukshetra 5,000 years ago to Arjuna. This is actually a perfect example of a counseling session, as one devotee said to me one time. So there's many books written for counseling in the libraries in the material world, but that's dealing with the material body. When we speak about the instructions of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam and all of Srila Prabhupada's books, Srila Prabhupada said everything is in his books. So if we're having some challenges in a certain area of our life, whether it be enviousness, whether it be not being able to be sober, not having a good attitude, a peaceful attitude, all the instructions are there in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and Srila Prabhupada's books. So soberness, sobriety, this is very, very important. Because despite the agitated mind, despite that we are sometimes feeling that influence, if we can adhere very strictly to our Krishna consciousness, and as I say this in many classes, it all starts with our japa. And if we chant nicely, if we stay focused, if we hear the holy name, and try not to think about other things while we're chanting, and just focus in on hearing the holy name and pronouncing the words clearly. Not that we say, Hare, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare, or, Hare, Rama, we roll the R's, or we say Hare. No, it's Hare, Krishna, and Rama. So be very clear in what we're chanting and what we're saying, and listen. Despite the fact that we may wake up and we're not in a sober state, we're thinking about so many different obstacles that we have to overcome in this world. If we simply hear the holy name, that will give us the energy, that will give us the ability, that will give us the ability to remain sober. And attitude is everything, as it says here, in a peaceful attitude. Attitude is everything. So even amongst ourselves, there are those times that we bang heads, so to speak, or we get into it with one another, or we have a disagreement, or even an argument. But attitude is really important. Having a peaceful attitude is really important. So it's okay to disagree, and we can agree to disagree. But attitude is everything, and it's very important that we remain peaceful, that we remain sober, and we have a good attitude about our interactions. This is very, very important. Because if we don't have a good attitude towards one another, then we commit offenses. And when we commit offenses, we lose our taste gradually for chanting Hare Krishna. And then when we lose our taste, then we don't want to chant. And we don't want to chant, then our mind becomes more difficult to control. And the mind becomes very loud. And the mind starts screaming. And it starts screaming so loud that we start to believe what we're hearing is true, when in many times it's not true. So it's a downward spiral. So instead of doing the downward spiral, let's make sure that we go the other way. Let's help each other. Let's speak nicely. Let's assist each other in Krishna consciousness. We're all here together. We're all in this together. But everyone in this room, everyone listening on the internet, wherever you may be, all around the world, we're all trying to do the same thing. We're trying to become purified. We're trying to become lovers of Krishna. We all have the same, we're all worshiping the same deities here. Srila Prabhupada. So we're a team. I heard the example given one time. Let's just use a material example. Basketball. Okay, so maybe some people don't know what basketball is. I'll just kind of tee this up. Basketball is where you have two baskets on either side, and you have a ball. And when you throw the ball into the basket, when your team gets the ball into the basket, into the other team's basket, you get 2 points. And if you're outside of the arch, you get 3 points. I hope it's still the same. It's been a long time since I've watched basketball. But the point being is that you have two teams that are competing against one another. And so we're all on one team. Now, if I'm heading to that basket down there so we can score a point, if I see one of my god brothers or god sisters down there and they have a very easy access to throw the ball into the basket so our team can score 2 points or even 3 points, am I going to take the ball and throw it way over their heads to make them look bad, or throw the ball in a certain way that it's hard for them to get it, and then they can't score the points, and then our team doesn't get the points? No, I'm not going to do that. Even if that other player, and I've experienced this playing on teams before, where I don't particularly have a liking for the other person, but I'm not going to throw the ball over his head to make him look bad, because it's a team effort. So in the same way, there are things that we all may do that may irritate or upset or agitate each other at different times. But the main thing is, let's help each other. Let's throw the ball. Let's encourage each other. Let's throw the ball so the other person can get the ball and can put the ball in the basket, and then the whole team wins. You see, if we assist each other, then everyone's a winner. So let's make it a win-win situation. Now, a very important word here that that I saw when I read this purport is forgiveness. So there's a great example here, Vasudeva. He was a great personality because he knew how to pacify a cruel person and how to forgive even the bitterest enemy. So, let's take these examples. There's wonderful examples in our with Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, Jagai and Madai. When Jagai and Madai were so offensive, but we have to learn to forgive, and it starts even with forgiving ourselves. Because in the past we've done so many activities before we were devotees that hurt people. And I can go down a list of things that I did that hurt people, things I said. I don't want to get into details, but we can all think about that. We've all had experience with that before, where we've been cruel, we've hurt people in the past. And the most important thing for us to do is to become Krishna conscious. Become Krishna conscious and forgive others. One devotee said to me one time, because I was a little disturbed because the prasadam he was sending out with us on Sankirtan was just not, it wasn't so nice. It was either burnt or it was swimming in ghee, and it just, there was some different aspects about the prasadam that needed some improvement. And even this devotee sometimes was a little eccentric. And so I went to this other senior devotee and I explained the situation to him. And, he said, be forgiving, be understanding. We're all in this together. We're all, influenced by the modes of material nature at one time or another. Don't take things so personally. So, this forgiveness is very, very important. And if you look through the books, if you look through Srila Prabhupada's books, Srila Prabhupada makes different references to forgiveness. So, find it in ourselves today. Find it in yourself today to go up to someone, even that you're having some challenges with or you have bad feelings about. Do some service. Bring them prasadam. There's the different expressions of love that Rupa Goswami expresses in the Nectar of Instruction. Dadanti prati grinanti guya machachi prichati bhokte bhojate chaiva sadpratam prati lakshanam. Very important. We have offering prasadam and accepting prasadam, revealing the mind in confidence, inquiring confidentially, giving gifts and accepting gifts. So these are 6 symptoms of love that are shared by 2 devotees. It's a very simple process. So if you're feeling a little irritated towards someone, you don't have to go up to him and say, "Oh, Prabhu, I feel like this about you today, and I just want to tell you that." No, offer some service. Of course, it's okay to reveal your mind, but everything should be done in the right mood, with the right attitude. And you'll get a really, really good response, or you should get a very good response. Apology goes a long way, but it's attitude. So even in this example here of Kamsa, we see here that Vasudeva, being the great personality he was, he knew how to pacify a cruel person and even forgive an enemy, a bitter enemy. So we're not bitter enemies to one another, but we should see that it can be done. And ultimately our minds will become peaceful, our hearts will become peaceful, and it's a win-win for everyone. So I wanted to just stop there and see if there was any comments or anything for discussion on what we're speaking about here today. Sacinandana Prabhu, I saw you stick both your hands up in the air. Does that mean you have 2 questions? 2 comments? No? Okay, one thing I just wanted to do is I came upon this card when I was up at Mayapur Prabhu's office yesterday. I was waiting for him, and there's a little basket there, and every so often we'll get cards. So this was open, and it said International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So I figured, okay, well, I'm with the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, so I'm going to open up the envelope and I'm going to take out the card. Nice card. Someone took the time to write this. I just want you to reflect on this a little, because our devotees go out and do book distribution. Everyone takes, hopefully everyone takes a book with them when they're going somewhere, because you never know when you're going to meet someone really receptive to Krishna consciousness. When I took Yadabar Prabhu to the airport yesterday morning, and I opened up, took all the luggage out, there were some books there, so he asked if he could have a book or 2 to take with him. And immediately, I thought to myself, we all should be doing that. We all should be we go out, we should take a book or 2 with us. Because you never know who you're going to meet. And isn't it when you don't have a book with you, you meet the most wonderful person who you feel is very receptive to Krishna consciousness? So, if I see anybody walking to the laundromat, or I see somebody walking down to Trader Joe's or wherever it is, I'm going to call it, hey Prabhu, did you bring a book? Okay, so I just wanted to read this. It's a very short card. But it shows you the sincerity of people that are out there that are receiving our books, and the positive impact that it's having on everyone, or on some people. Again, we get caught up in our own little worlds here in our own Krishna consciousness, and we forget that there's thousands of books going out there, that are going on out there. Thousands, millions of books. So this one was written to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Now, this is someone that received a book. This person is from Newark, Ohio. To His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. I've sincerely enjoyed reading your book, Bhagavad Gita, as it is. Again, listen to that. I have sincerely enjoyed, which means this person has been reading Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, as it is. Reading your book, she says. This has increased my understanding immensely. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love, Sue Rector. There's an address on here, a return address. I'm going to contact her. So, again, Prabhu's just, I don't go out full-time on Sankirtan, but I try to be conscientious of keeping some books in my car or keeping books with me, and every so often you hear my name being mentioned. Thank you very much for mentioning my name. But we have so many devotees that are in this temple that I would love to hear their names. So now I'm pushing you forward. Distribute a book. It's that easy. Invite someone to the temple. Tell them about Krishna. So I'm not saying that we're not doing that, but I remember on the Christmas the Krishna Marathon, the Christmas Marathon, Krishna Marathon, or World Enlightenment Day, how ecstatic it was. We were going out, we were distributing books, we were collecting Lakshmi, all on Srila Prabhupada's behalf. And Srila Prabhupada was so ecstatic when he saw his books going out. As we all know, Savas Prabhu, I love that story with the memories when you saw Srila Prabhupada and you were on that morning walk with all those devotees. Detroit? Chicago? Detroit. Great story. Very enlivening. Every so often, I want to get a little inspiration, and I find that memories, and I watch that. It's really nice. Our temple president, he went... Sorry, I don't mean to embarrass him, but Savasprabhu, he went in front of all the GBC and sannyasis that were on this morning walk and told Srila Prabhupada about all the books that were being distributed by all these devotees. And Srila Prabhupada was ecstatic. So let's not lose sight of that. Let's not lose sight of book distribution. We've got all of our activities to do, but, we can all distribute, one book a week. We can all distribute, 10 books a month. Let's just try to remember to distribute a book. And you'll see amazing things happening, not only here and within Srila Prabhupada's Krishna consciousness movement, but within your own heart. So I want to thank everyone for coming to Srimad Bhagavatam class. Thank you for listening on the internet, and I hope you all have a wonderful day in Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada ki, book distribution ki, Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Gaura Premanande.